All right, welcome back to CBSN. I'm Vladimir Jutia. We are tracking developments as Hurricane Harvey has slammed southeastern Texas. This storm reached landfall at about 9:45 p.m. Friday. It was a little earlier than expected. 130-mile-an-hour winds, a Category 4 hurricane. It was subsequently downgraded to a Category 1, but that doesn't mean that people in the area are out of the woods just yet. The extent of the devastation is not known, but we know that emergency officials have reported heavy building damage in Rockport, Texas, in Port Aransas, and throughout the area of the southeastern portion of the state. We also know that at least 250,000 people or so are without power right now. Let's get straight to Texas Governor Greg Abbott. He is joining us from Austin, Texas. Governor, thank you so much for taking some time out to talk to us. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure, Vlad. Thank you.
Now, you're talking to emergency crews and personnel. What are they telling you about what they're seeing on the ground?
Well, obviously, there's great devastation where the hurricane hit the area, but also our greatest concern right now is the ongoing flooding that will take place. That will continue perhaps for days, and that poses ongoing danger. The other thing that we are focused on right now, we are trying to get in as fast as we can to begin the rescue process. Even though the storms are still raging, we have teams already working to get in to try to rescue as many people as we can.
And sir, what is your message now to the folks, specifically in Rockport? We just had a report that, and we saw some images from the area that look absolutely devastating, and with the understanding, of course, that it is going to continue to rain in the area.
Right. It's important that people who are in place right now continue to find ways to remain safe, continue to try to communicate as best as they can with their local officials or with anybody that can get messages to either the local or state officials so we can get to them and help rescue them.
And we know, sir, that President Trump has allocated federal funds to the state. Have you spoken to the president?
I have spoken to the president and his team on several occasions. It was last night that the president granted our declaration for disaster. What that means is that FEMA has now been triggered to assist the cities, the counties, and individuals to begin the rebuilding process. This was a very swift grant from the White House and will mean that Texas will be able to begin the rebuilding process even more quickly.
Yeah, in fact, the president has been tweeting pretty much all night. And I'm looking at some of the tweets right now. About 13 hours ago, at the request of the governor of Texas, I have signed the disaster proclamation, which unleashes the full force of government help. Help our viewers understand, sir, what that means, what that looks like, the full force of government help.
Sure. What that means is with the full force of FEMA assistance, they will be providing assistance to local governments, to local counties, to individuals who have been harmed, like having their home mowed down by this hurricane. Help all of them go through the rebuilding process. And what it means is that the money will be getting to them even quicker. All this will do is speed up the response time of rebuilding the lives and communities that have been affected by this hurricane.
And when we talk about the numbers of first responders that have been deployed across the state, what's the rationale or the strategy for deploying them in specific areas? How do you make the decision to send a crew to, for example, the Rockport, where we've seen the devastation, and perhaps Galveston, if they haven't received as much damage as Rockport?
Well, we saw the storm coming in advance, and we pre-located teams arrayed all the way from the Corpus Christi area all the way up to the Houston area, and so they were close in to begin with. They needed to wait out the storm, and now they're beginning to go through the process of search and rescue to make sure that we save as many lives as possible.
Governor Greg Abbott, thank you so much, sir, for taking time out to speak with us here at CBS News. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.